e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5, c3, knight f6, d3, d6, castle kingside, h6, rook e1, castle kingside, h3, a6, a4, rook e8, knight b d2, bishop a7, b4, bishop e6, bishop takes e6, rook takes e6, queen c2, queen d7, rook b1, rook d8, b5, knight e7, d4, knight g6, d5, rook e8, c4, rook f8, knight f1, bishop c5, bishop e3, bishop takes e3, knight takes e3, b6, a5, a takes b5, rook takes b5, b takes a5, rook takes a5, rook a8, rook ea1, rook takes a5, rook takes a5, rook b8, c5, queen d8, knight c4, knight e8, g3, queen c8, king g2, rook a8, knight fd2, rook takes a5, knight takes a5, f5, c takes d6, knight takes d6, knight ac4, knight e7, knight takes d6, c takes d6, queen takes c8 check, knight takes c8, e takes f5, knight e7, g4, knight takes d5, knight c4, knight f4 check, king g3, knight e2 check, king h2, king f7, knight takes d6 check, king e7, knight e4, h5, king g2, h takes g4, h takes g4, king f7, king f3, knight f4, g5, g6, king g4, knight d3, knight d6, check, king g7, f6, check, king f8, king f3, knight f4, king g4, knight d3, f3, knight f4, knight c4, knight d3, knight e6, king f7, knight d5, knight c5, knight c3, knight d3, knight e4, king e6, king g3, king f7, king g2, king e6, king f1, knight f4, king f2, knight d5, knight c5, check, king d6, knight d3, knight c7, f4, knight e6, f takes e5, check, king d5, f7, knight f8, king e3, knight h7, king f4, king e6, f8 promotes to queen, knight takes f8, king e4, knight h7, knight c5, check, king e7, king f4, knight f8, king e4, knight h7, king f4, knight f8, knight e3, king e6, king e4, knight h7, knight d4, check, king e7, king f4, knight f8, knight c6, check, king d7, knight d4, king e7, king e3, knight h7, knight f3, knight f8, king e4, knight e6, king d5, king d7, king e4, king e7, king d5, king d7, king e4, king e7,